Okay, let's get into it. First time I ever left Canada, really, I went to Mexico. And at first, everything was exciting. Everything felt new. The food, the streets, the smells, the pace of life, the language. There was like a sense of adventure to everything. But after a while, the culture shock kind of started to settle in. And I remember getting excited when I would see a billboard with an English word on it. Not even a whole sentence, just like one familiar word. And somehow that word felt like a little piece of home. It reminded me that I was in a place that it was beautiful and interesting, but it was unfamiliar. And I was there, and I could enjoy it and learn from it, but it wasn't home. And that feeling kind of maybe helps us understand how the Apostle Peter begins this letter. 1 Peter 1, 1 to 2. Peter, an apostle of Jesus Christ, to those who are elect exiles of the dispersion in Pontus, Galatia, Cappadocia, Asia, and Bithynia, according to the foreknowledge of God the Father in the sanctification of the Spirit, for obedience to Jesus Christ, and for sprinkling with his blood. May grace and peace be multiplied to you. Peter is writing to Christians scattered all across different regions, and he calls them elect exiles. It kind of holds two truths together there. First, they're exiles, that they while living there in a real place with real lives, are not fully at home. They have responsibilities and families and pressures and all that real life stuff. But because they belong to Jesus, they no longer belong to the world kind of in the same way. Their identity and loyalty has changed. Their hope has changed. And that's true for everyone who is in Christ. Following Jesus doesn't mean we stop caring about ordinary life. We still, have to work and we raise our families and we have bills to pay and we love our neighbors and we still are called to seek the good of the places that God has put us in. But we also know that this world, what we experience, that it's not fully our home. We are exiles. We are foreigners in this place. And so we shouldn't be shocked when obedience feels strange culturally. We shouldn't be surprised when faithfulness kind of puts us out of step, maybe even with the values around us. But he doesn't just call them exiles, he calls them elect exiles. They are chosen. That means they're not forgotten, they're not random, they're not abandoned. They might be scattered, uh, but they're all held by God. And Peter says that this is according to the foreknowledge of God the Father. Their lives are not outside of God's care. Then he says they're being formed in the sanctification of the Spirit. God is not only saving them from something, he's making them into something. He's forming something in them. The Spirit is at work shaping them. And this is all for the obedience to Jesus Christ and the sprinkling for the sprinkling with his blood. They belong to Jesus and they have been cleansed by Jesus and now they're called to obey Jesus. So, following Jesus makes you feel kind of out of place culturally in the world around you. Um, don't panic. That's actually the way that it's always been. That's always been part of the Christian life. And sometimes we're like travelers catching just like a familiar word on a billboard, reminded that there is a home that we're made for. That we're in the world, but we don't fully belong to the world. We are exiles, but we're not lost. We're chosen by the Father, sanctified by the Spirit, cleansed by the Son, and we're called to walk with him today. Wherever you find yourself, God goes with you today.